Thank you for all coming back on time. So I must say my head is full of stars. Not the stars we approach with Mr. Clairvoy, and not the star that I got in the Cosmorium immersion either, but the stars because of all what I heard during these few days and up to now. The excellent scientific presentation we listened to, it's really a gift to be able to hear to such a variety of presentation. The evidence of success of certain international collaboration that we have been able to support. That's really impressive as well. All the messages and the ideas that you shared with us to support the Institute and our future, and all the very rewarding messages also and comments about our activity. It makes us feel very important and also very accountable to all of you. So thank you for all that. So I will try to give you a very synthetic vision of the Studium, what it is now, what it does, and and I will try not to be too long to leave place to science. But our role really now, and our positioning, is a multidisciplinary institute for advanced studies, serving the regional research an innovation ecosystem, but also all our international partners. I pick up that sentence from actually Mr. Paul Vigny's book, one of his two books, I can't remember. He wrote it in French, but that science is really a global endeavor, and international collaborations make it stronger. So you know already, you've listened to some of you, Professor Vigny gave an history about the Studium, and through all the presentation you had a lot of information already about our organization. And for those who didn't attend this presentation, I will just summarize very quickly. We have some deep historical roots, and the vision of Mr. Vigny at that time of the foundation of the Studium 25 years ago, he had real inspiration from what happened in the region from the time of the Renaissance to up to today. Internationalization came up as a necessity to increase what was going on and the possibilities of his lab, and then to other labs. Then over time, there was this transdisciplinary approach that was taken into account, considering the number of disciplines the Studium was able to host in it across its different program. And we became this Loire Valley Institute for Advanced Studies, as we are now able to gather a certain number of fellows every year on a permanent basis, and host all this research program and try to support them. So from the beginning, the principles that were set up by the funder, imagination, intuition, curiosity, I think they remain, and they should remain. They are carried by the fellows that we host, and we could witness that in some of the presentation we had from our past and current fellows. So our mission remains, is to support research and innovation, all these promising projects that are pursuing the specific goals, support those international fruitful collaborative collaborations, contributing to the human capacity building. I think it's both sense. We heard that as well. It's also for our invited fellows, but also for our host scientists. The exchange is very fruitful. Valorize the work of the fellows and the research team. We try to organize many things for them, from trainings to events that can make this possible and that gives visibility to their project. We want to be an international place of knowledge sharing. And by that, we contribute to the development and attractiveness of the territory and of the research team. So this is our mission today, and that's what we're trying to do the best we can. That was said before, but it's worth to recall. We don't do that by ourselves. We work with all our partners, the higher education institution, the national research centers, which are based in the region. I don't need to name them again. We have also key partners, the hospitals in Tours, the Maison des Sciences de l'Homme for the Centre Val de Loire in Tours, based in Tours as well, but with a regional coverage. And we interact with businesses and those economic clusters around cosmetic, water issues, elastomer, electricity, storage, pharmaceuticals. And we interact very much with the agency in charge of the economic development in the region. So all the activities that are carried out by our fellows in partnership with these host institutions are reported every year in an annual report that we managed to publish for the first time in 2015 for the 2014 year. And we do that every year. So this year we were again very pleased to recently publish our 2021 report. And it was a very important achievement for the Studium to be able to produce that document in English. That is the only one document in English reporting on all the science which is carried out in the region. It's not exhaustive, of course, because science is done elsewhere and without us and without our support, but it covers a large variety of activities. And for us, the team, on a daily basis, it means we are based here in this beautiful building, but we work everywhere because we have fellows in Orléans, of course, in Tours, but it happens sometimes in Blois. Currently, we have fellows based in Chartres and in Nogent-sur-Vernisson. Am I going to be able to put... On the east. Okay. Yeah, here, okay, that's Nogent-sur-Vernisson. And we had fellows in Bourges as well. So it means we need to be very dynamic and reactive to cover that territory and all those partners. So in a nutshell, the specificities now of the Institute, we heard that before again in the presentation, is that we are really a bottom-up structure that was born in that way, and an autonomous structure, though all those members that I listed are our partners and our members of our non-profit structure. So it's quite interesting functioning. We have a large regional network of partners and coverage, so that is very different from the other institutes elsewhere in France and even in Europe. We cover that large scientific spectrum, so all scientific disciplines are welcome in the institute. This represents a high potential of interdisciplinary exchanges. We offer original formats. A few were designed when I took this position in 2014, but with my colleague, we worked on inventing new formats and to make sure it would benefit and answer the needs of the research teams in the region. We organize a variety of events as well. and different action with always the same objective to be serving scientific interest. We offer now different call for application and different programs of actions. Our recruitment of international fellows, it's not in a cohort manner, meaning we guarantee to have all year long a certain number of fellows present in a region, at least 20 fellows on an average per month. We had to face the COVID like everyone, so there was a slight decrease, but we are coping back now with that. So it makes we are a quite unique structure. It was said that the regional council, Mrs. Beignet, pointed that again during a presentation yesterday. Maybe we can say we are one of the first institute of advanced studies funded in France, though we really became that only in around 2012. But we are certainly recognized now internationally. And what is really good, and I want to thank again Professor Percoraro for his work this morning, but we have this space for interdisciplinary scientific and intellectual exchanges, and we can bring this opportunity to many of our fellows. So our membership, we have a membership of 25 members covering different categories: the higher education institution, the research institution are represented in our membership, industries, and also a certain number of qualified personalities who bring their expertise according to their past experience or current experience. We have an impressive and wonderful international scientific council composed of 25 members that was presented by Dominique Langevin, the president, on Tuesday. We are a small team of 5 operational permanent people, but we also have interns, learning employees, and we benefit from a shared position inside the universities with the Euraccess services. So it makes us now a more comfortable team to work across all our program. We have resources and budget, though the regional council give us a permanent recurrent grant, which allows us to go to international co-funding sometimes. We also have contribution from the Orléans Metropole. We have contribution from the university partners and from the European funding for economic development, and also diverse programs. So our budget varies from, it's around 2 million now, it went up to 3 million almost, was not even 1 million around 2014. So we experienced that consequent growth over the past years. The number of fellows per year we welcome is between 30 and 40, depends on the year, but it has, so it's, because they don't all arrive at the same time, they don't all leave at the same time, so that's why it's such a high quantity. We organize a lot of events per year, so again, COVID has shaken things a little bit, but we converted to digital events, so that was also very fruitful to reach past fellows and all our large network of participants of conferences. So we were very happy about that. And we collaborate with a large number of laboratories every year. We have this amazing place, our dedicated workspaces, the Hôtel du Pont-Loup in Orléans, which was a real achievement, as Professor Vigny said, for him. But it's a wonderful tool for us to be based here. And but we also have partnership with our partners and in other cities, and we can easily organize events in other cities. And we have this quality residence in Orléans with the Château de la Motte Sanguin, where we host most of our fellows. Sometimes we need to also take up rentals elsewhere in the city, but most of them are based here. And in tour, we also try to secure quality housing for fellows. So our activity, so it's really to design those programs and conceive activity to respond to the diverse needs, to work with our scientific council and with the external evaluators we call upon to evaluate our programs. So this is a picture of this room converted in the scientific council meeting room when we have a high number of projects going on. We have this transdisciplinary approach through our monthly seminars where we gather all our fellows and once a month and to share some knowledge and to engage into interdisciplinary discussions. Again, we were able to do that remotely, but we prefer when we can make this happen in the real format. Across the conferences as well, I mean, we try really to push fellows to organize their event by bringing experts who are at the edge of their domain or even in a different domain to make events more interdisciplinary. We offer that complete scientific environment with with opportunities to organize events, invite international guests for such events, and so we have a variety of events. They all each color corresponds to a different type of event, and I won't go in the detail, but it shows you how much we've invested to match with different interests. And as much as we can, we offer that quality environment. And support to our fellows before they arrive. Once they arrive, we prepare their furnished housing. We bring administrative assistance with the support of the Euraccess teams. We bring sometimes career development support with the various networks in the region and also with some training programs. And social and cultural information about what's going on in the region, and also social gathering and visits. So we have two calls for application every year. We have the call which has been going on from the beginning of the Studium, almost the Smart Loire Valley program. It's an annual call for application, open every year from November to February next year, open to all scientific disciplines and offering different types of award depending on our funding. So sometimes some of them are not open because we don't have the funding, and sometimes they are all open, which then becomes really tricky because we get a lot of applications to run through the Scientific Council. But we have the fellowships for 12 consecutive months residency. We have the professorship for 12 months but split over 4 years, 3 months each year. We have the visiting researcher format now, which allows more flexible residence from 3 to 12 months, and where we don't bring the salary, but we bring all the rest of the environment, the furnished housing, and the possibility to organize events and the full integration into our scientific community. And we have the consortium, where this is the funding of regular meetings for a small group of researchers, international researchers, led by one in the region with a specific vision to develop a project, to build an application for a larger project, to advance on research and eventually go to the patent publication, patents, and the creation of a startup, as we saw this morning with the example of Professor Pecoraro. So this program received European funding in 2015. So all selection between 2015 and 16 and 29 were funded by this program, and the funding ran till the end of 21. So this has increased our capacity to welcome fellows in the region. This program represented about 600 months of research. Then we just integrated another program, which is the FIAS program, the French Institute for Advanced Study Fellowship Program. We were invited by the French Network of Institutes for Advanced Studies to join their European grants alongside the 5 other institutes, Paris, Marseille, Lyon, Nantes, and Montpellier. And this call of application is open from April to June every year. We will run for sure 2 rounds of this call this year and next year. The focus is mainly on social science and humanities, but it's open to all sciences as long as there is interdisciplinarity with social human sciences and humanities. And so for that, the number of awards is now fixed, but it may also increase for the next year. And this program offers a full training program on different topics to our fellows, so it's also very interesting. So this European affiliation of our program brings strengths to the Studium and obviously more visibility and opportunity to interact internationally. Then another big opportunity for the Studium has been to join the Athena University, which is a European university that the University of Orléans was able to join and win this program 2 years ago. And for that, we have a budget now in this program to welcome scientists that would be coming from these 8 other universities across Europe, and that will come for visiting as visiting researchers, and that will be able also to organize events with their associate partner in the region. So we were targeting 100 months. We don't know if we will be able to do that, but we will organize events. So there will be collaborations through this program, and this is very, very nice. We also heard we have one international partner of that consortium in the room with our Polish colleagues from the Marie Curie, Skłodowska-Curie University in Lublin, and we hope to partner with them. Then we are the partner of the Ambition Research and Development Programs initiated by the Centre Val de Loire region, and around scientific priorities, where they invested money to structure research in this domain in the region. And this allowed us to host 33 fellowships across this program from 2014 to 2020. And we are now entering these new waves, as Mrs. Beignet described, of this program. And our role will be the same, welcoming a few fellows, but this time maybe more concentrating on the international dynamic of this program, welcoming international delegation, trying to link with ecosystem abroad with the same scientific priorities, to build links and apply to larger program, because we know this is key now to access European or international program. So you can see the scientific, again, the variety which is represented through this program. So synthetic view, we mentioned that before, 250 almost fellows. I think it's more now, because this was the figure at the end of 21, welcome at the Studium. And over the past year, you have the thematic repartition, which somehow represents the repartition of laboratories in the region, with a strong, we have more and more in the recent years, we had fellows coming from the humanities, which was not the case before. So that figures has increased recently. But life and health sciences are mostly represented in our residencies. And there you see the number of months of research, which is guaranteed every year by our activities, and that goes to the different institutions in the region. Financials, some financial indicators, it's always interesting. So, as I was mentioning, we experienced a huge growth from 2014, 2013 to 2018, 19, and it goes down a little bit. It's normal. It was the end of our European grant, huge European grant, and also it was the end of the second wave of the ambition and research and development program, so it's normal. But still, we need more funding. And expenses by category, you can see that the blue columns represent the salaries of our researcher and the cost of our researchers. So this is going down, representing the decrease in budget, but also because we have also introduced new types of residencies which are not paid, and we have tried also to reduce the cost on salary. So basically, we have not reduced so much the number of fellows we welcome, but the cost is a little bit less, and of course there is the COVID impact here. We should take into account, and globally the other expenses are reasonable. The cost of the Studium team is not more, it's even less than it was, or it's stable. The cost of events, the welcome costs are in line with the cost of the fellows themselves. The cost of events has slightly decreased over the past 2 years, and you know what, COVID was there. But it doesn't mean we organize less events, because now we are able to organize, in addition to the physical events that we'll be organizing in the coming months and years, we organize the digital ones, so it will mean more events. And well, our administrative costs and overhead costs, we are trying to maintain them low as much as we can. So the funding, it comes, as I said, from the Centre-Val de region, the Metropole of Orléans and the 2 universities, and again the Centre-Val de Loire region with the permanent grant and the ambition and research development programs, and the European funding through the FEDER Economic European Development Funds, plus the other programs funds from COFUN. So we have we depend highly, of course, on public funding. So a few figures, so 250 fellows. We have worked with 43 laboratories in the region, minimum of 100 publications per year, sometimes more, when we heard what Dominique Howard says in his presentation. 30 fellows have permanently settled in the region. This is also very rewarding. Collaboration and contacts perdure between teams. We know that we've continued, at least 60 teams continue to have exchanges, which is really, really nice. We know that there is benefits on career development of fellows. They mentioned that to us, that they passing by through our Studium sometimes enable them to get grants or get a higher position in their institution. We have a large and increased network of partner and host laboratories. And now we are really anchored in the regional research ecosystem as a real partner and as a lead partner for sometimes as we coordinated that regional Euclid network for European affairs officers. And we know we help some teams to raise millions, but we are in the process of trying to keeping track of all that. That's not easy. We worked in the past, last year, we took advantage of the COVID to try to think about a little bit about what we should do for our next phase of development, 21-27, to collect to the European framework. And well, certainly we wanted to stick the recommendation that came out. We wanted to stick to what the identity of the Studium was at the beginning, those key qualities: imagination, intuition, and curiosity. But we also have to follow 3 main pillars which were defined in this strategy. Our identity we need to reinforce, our partnerships we need to reinforce, and our sustainability we need to secure, definitely. So we will continue, we have to continue, this is our mission, to focus on our essential mission to foster international scientific exchanges. We will ask, and that's what we want to do, to define the our strategy in coherence with the local strategy and programs and priorities of our partners. We want to deepen interdisciplinary exchanges and to promote research projects that will meet societal challenges to give us a color as well. So the strategy that we've started to develop and we engage to, it's try to engage into thematic or geographic networks or international partnerships. We've done that already with the Athena University. We've done that with the FIAS program. Even if it's a French Institute of Advanced Study program, it links with the actually European network of Institute of Advanced Studies. So it's really precious for us. We engage with regional partners collaboratively, trying to support them as they design new programs and offer our actions for internationalization. We will continue to try to open new residency format and especially to host interdisciplinary projects, because we think it's key with the objective of the strategy, develop new services, to regional laboratories and industry, as we discussed with them in our interactions, federate our alumni and create that network. We had that very positive feedback from some of you last night and after the presentation of Philippe Vendrix, and we'll definitely we'll tackle this very shortly. We have also the idea to build and the objective to build a foundation for the sustainability, but we know it will take a little bit time, but we want to definitely want to go on that, to open that area. And in the visibility also, for the visibility, one thing we have started to do is we've opened that journal page on our website where all past fellows have actually a scientific publication about their activity in the past year or during their residency. And this is a publication which is given a DOI number and which is referenced internationally. So this is very positive. We also on that page try to file all publication of our fellows. So that's why we keep asking them, can you give us? We try your last publication. We try to keep track of that as well on the website, but it's on the internet, but it's tricky. So, just coming back to a conference, I want to have a few thanks words because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that after. So I want to thank all our partners for their support, to thank our speakers, our moderators, all the contributors that took part to some discussion that were very precious to us, the member of the Scientific Council members, the people who lent us some installation around our event, and it was very important for us to bring all that different visual of science in the building. So Camilla Cavici, Alice Nuet and Philippe Vendrix for the Cubiculum Musicae, the Cosmorium. This was Loïc Javois, the planetarist that was here on Tuesday, and it was so nice. The big scale installation, Benjamin Caidou and Nada Cote from the Histopocene, the Histo Laboratory in Orléans and Labo Media. All the exhibitions that were lent to us by the laboratory, the Institute for Research on Insect Biology in Tours, David Giron, the Centre Sciences, Olivier Morand for all the panels and exhibition, Adrien Favellini for the Big Bazaar installation, Florian Bellouet, our technical guy for the conference, who has done a really amazing work supporting us, and it was from the University of Orléans. Really appreciated his support. Yann Zapka and Fabrice Collin, who played music for us late last night, and it was so nice in the garden. And all our public funders, of course, and that with whom we would not be here today. And also a special word to our team, because really, thank you again, Professor Pecoraro, for noticing that this morning, but they do an amazing work. So I want to thank Aurélien Montagu, our scientific manager. I mean, we owe him the title of our conference today, and a large part of the program, plus all the stressless and restless activities he does all year long. So thank you very much. Marie-Frédérique Pellerin, who deals with our financial and contracts, and she does so well. And she has been running around everywhere to support the conference. Maureen Villiers, I'm so sad she got that severe punishment that she didn't deserve, because she is at home very sick, and she couldn't attend the last 2 days of the event, but she puts a lot of energy on this event, and all year long on all the others. Marie Artige, who joined us as a research project officer earlier this year. Marion Roussat, our research management intern this year, who supported so well Aurélien in the different calls for applications and the scientific council, and who put together the escape game for this event, or had a leading role at least on it, with the rest of the team. Chloé Bigot, our junior communication assistant, who's been putting together all the visuals for this event, and all year long also about everything, so thank you very much. And Coratin Weiss, our junior event assistant, you've seen him running everywhere, and he has been doing really well also in these, during these 3 days. So I want to thank also our colleagues in Tours and from the Euraccess Center in Tours and Île-Orléans, as they welcome so well our fellows in the region. And I will stop here, and I want just to say a few words just to end that. I will try to follow the advices of a few of our speakers, and mainly from Jean-François Clairvoy. We will shoot for the stars, and maybe we'll end up on the moon. Thank you.